Hey everyone. I know you're busy, but want to stay ahead of the curve, so let's jump right in.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so today's deep dive. We're tackling how to make AI even smarter.
Yes.
But not just any AI, we're talking about those multimodal large language models.
MLLMs.
Right, MLLMs. They're already pretty amazing. They can understand both text and images.
Yeah, they can do some pretty incredible things.
But what if we could make them experts in specific fields? Like imagine an MLLM that's a whiz at biomedicine.
Oh, wow.
Or one that's a master chef in the world of food science.
No, that would be something.
And guess what? That's exactly what we're diving into today. We've got excerpts from a research paper all about MLLM.
MLLM.
It's a brand new system designed to take those generalist MLLMs and turn them into specialists.
Like giving them a PhD in their chosen field.
Exactly. And, it's kind of like sending an AI to college, right?
Oh, how so?
Well, the researchers tackled this in three main ways: data synthesis, training pipeline, and then task evaluation.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
It's like data synthesis is figuring out the curriculum, right?
Okay.
The training pipeline is how they actually study.
Uh-huh.
And then task evaluation, that's the final exam.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It really captures the essence of what they're trying to achieve.
Right. And, one of the biggest challenges here is that general MLLMs.
They're great, don't get me wrong.
Oh, they are.
But they just don't have the specialized knowledge you need for certain fields.
It's like asking me to perform surgery. I can read all about it.
Right.
But I definitely don't have the expertise to actually do it.
Exactly. You wouldn't want me operating on you, would you?
Not a chance.
Yeah.
But seriously, you wouldn't ask a general MLLM to do something like interpret a medical scan.
No.
Or generate a recipe for someone with a very specific dietary need.
No, you need a specialist for that.
Exactly. And that's where this idea of domain adaptation comes in.
Ah, yes, domain adaptation.
It's basically the process of training a general MLLM to become an expert in a specific area.
Right, like turning that general practitioner into a cardiologist.
I love that. But how do they actually do that?
Well, traditionally, you'd need a ton of domain-specific data.
Which can be hard to come by.
Oh, it can be, especially in highly specialized fields.
But the researchers behind MLLM, they had this really clever insight.
Oh, what's that?
They realized that in a lot of fields,
Yeah.
there are already tons of image caption pairs available.
Like medical textbooks with all those labeled diagrams.
Yes, or websites with, recipes and beautiful photos of the dishes.
Exactly. They're everywhere.
So it's like having all the ingredients but no recipe.
That's a great way to put it. You've got all this raw information, but you need a way to structure it, make it useful.
So how did they bridge that gap? How do you go from flashcards to a full-blown cookbook?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. They built what they call a visual instruction synthesizer.
A what?
Visual instruction synthesizer. Essentially, it's like a mini AI, and its job is to analyze those image caption pairs and then automatically generate questions and answers based on them.
Okay, wait, so they're using AI to train AI?
Yeah, kind of like an AI tutor creating a study guide from a textbook.
That is S-meta. But hold on, how do we know those generated questions and answers are actually accurate?
That's a great question, right? You don't want to teach the AI the wrong stuff.
Exactly.
So to make sure everything is on point, they added in something called a consistency-based filter.
Okay, a filter.
Yeah. It basically analyzes those generated tasks, questions, and answers.
Right.
And it weeds out anything that seems iffy, like inaccurate or inconsistent.
So it's like a super smart fact checker for the AI's study materials.
Exactly. Making sure it's getting the best possible education.
Okay, I'm following you. So they're using AI to generate the study questions and to fact check them.
Pretty much. It's a pretty innovative approach.
It really is. But they didn't stop there, did they?
Nope, they didn't. They also got creative with the training process itself.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So instead of the usual two-stage approach.
Where you learn from image caption pairs first and then visual instructions separately.
Yeah, exactly. They decided to streamline things.
So they combine the stages.
They did. They call it single-stage training.
So it's like learning to cook by seeing pictures of ingredients, reading their descriptions, and following recipe instructions all at the same time.
You got it. It's a much more integrated way of learning.
And that makes sense, right? Because it allows the AI to connect the dots more effectively.
Exactly. It helps the AI understand the nuances of the field much better.
That's fascinating. So did this new approach actually make a difference in the results?
Well, that's what they set out to discover. They tested MLLM in two very different fields, biomedicine and food.
Oh, wow. So we're talking about very specialized areas here. How did they even measure the AI's performance in such complex fields?
That's a good question. They used various data sets that were specific to each domain. So for biomedicine, they used data sets like PathVQA, which involves analyzing medical images. And in food, they use data sets like Recipe1M, which tests the AI's ability to understand and generate recipes.
So like real-world applications, not just some theoretical tests in a lab.
Exactly. They wanted to see how MLLM would perform in situations that actually matter.
This is getting really interesting. I'm on the edge of my seat here. So, spill the beans. Did MLLM pass its final exams?
Well, the results are pretty impressive, but before we get into that, I'm curious about this single-stage training. Was it a completely new idea?
Oh, that's a good question. Like, had other researchers tried it before?
Exactly.
I mean, it seems like a pretty big departure from the traditional way of doing things.
It is. And that's actually what makes this research so significant. They went against the grain, and the results suggest that this single-stage training could be a game changer for the whole field of AI.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Let's talk results. What kind of performance boost are we talking about here?
Well, across all the data sets they used, MLLM consistently outperformed those baseline models, and sometimes by a significant margin. Like in the PathVQA dataset for medical image analysis,
Yeah.
MLLM just blew the competition out of the water.
Whoa, really? By how much?
They achieved a 10% improvement over previous state-of-the-art models.
A 10% improvement. That's huge GE, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in a field like medicine where even tiny gains are a big deal, 10% is a giant leap forward.
It really is. And it just goes to show you the power of this new approach.
So to be clear, this means that MLLM isn't just like understanding medical images. It's actually doing a better job of it than the AIs that came before.
That's right. And the implications are pretty exciting. Imagine a world where doctors have AI assistants that can analyze medical scans in real time, catching things that the human eye might miss.
Oh, wow. That would be incredible. It's like having a second set of superpowered eyes helping with every diagnosis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about catching things that might be missed. These AI assistants could also give doctors instant access to the latest research and treatment options, tailoring recommendations to a patient's specific needs and medical history.
It's like having a whole team of specialists available at your fingertips 24/7. That could be life-changing for so many people. But what about food science? What kind of results did they see in that area?
Well, in the Recipe1M dataset, the one focused on recipes,
Yeah.
MLLM showed this remarkable ability not only to identify ingredients from images, but also to suggest alternative ingredients based on dietary restrictions or preferences.
Oh, wow. So imagine having an AI kitchen assistant that could adapt recipes on the fly. Like if you're lactose intolerant, boom, it swaps out the dairy for a plant-based alternative.
Exactly. It's like having a personal chef who's also a nutrition expert.
This is amazing.
Oh.
But I gotta ask, how do these results compare to other methods for creating those visual instructions? I mean, the MLLM team can't be the only ones working on this, right?
Oh, absolutely not. This is a hot area of research with lots of brilliant minds working on it. In their paper, the researchers actually compare their approach to using like manually crafted rules.
Okay.
And even to using some of the most powerful language models out there like GPT-4 and GPT-4v to generate those visual instructions.
So they're going up against human experts and some of the most advanced AI systems in the world. That's pretty bold.
It is. But the results speak for themselves. MLLM consistently produced more diverse and complex tasks than either the rule-based or GPT-generated instructions.
So they're not just matching the performance of these other methods, they're actually exceeding them.
Exactly. It's like they've unlocked a new level of understanding in the field.
This is seriously impressive. But, there's a part of me that's still a little skeptical. I mean, isn't there a risk that relying solely on these image caption pairs might limit the types of tasks MLLM can handle? Like, what if there are gaps in the data?
That's a great point, and it's something the researchers acknowledge in their paper. While MLLM excelled in task diversity and complexity, they did find that their generated tasks had slightly lower accuracy compared to those generated by GPT-4 and GPT-4v.
So it's a trade-off then. More diversity and complexity, but a little less accuracy.
You could say that.
Yeah.
But even with that slight dip in accuracy, the overall performance gains and the sheer potential of this approach are remarkable.
I mean, it's like saying you wouldn't want a surgeon who's only read textbooks but never actually performed a surgery, right?
Right.
You'd want someone who has a broad understanding of the field but also knows how to apply that knowledge in real-world situations.
Exactly. And that's what MLLM is demonstrating. The importance of a well-rounded understanding, even if it means a tiny sacrifice in accuracy.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so let's circle back to the data synthesis part for a sec. We've talked about the visual instruction synthesizer and that consistency-based filter, but I'm still a little fuzzy on the specifics of the process. Like, how did they actually get from those basic image caption pairs to those more complex visual instructions? Can you walk me through it?
Absolutely. So they actually use a two-step approach for data synthesis.
Okay, 2 steps.
First, they start with an existing MLLM, and they fine-tune it specifically for extracting tasks from those image caption pairs.
So they're essentially teaching an AI how to teach another AI. Whoa, that's some next level stuff.
It is, right. It's like training an AI to create study questions based on a textbook.
Okay, that's a good analogy. So once they have this task extraction model, what do they do with it?
They apply it to a massive data set of image caption pairs from different domains.
So instead of having humans manually create those visual instructions, they have an AI do it for them. That's incredibly efficient. But I'm guessing not every task that AI generated was accurate or useful.
You're right. Not all of them were perfect. And that's where the second step comes in. The consistency-based filter. They run those generated tasks through another open source language model to identify any inconsistencies or logical errors.
It's like having a second set of eyes, or in this case, an AI brain, double-checking the work.
Exactly. You need that quality control.
So how many of the AI-generated tasks actually passed this filter?
According to the paper, about 30% of them were deemed accurate and consistent enough to be used for training at MLLM.
30%? That's actually pretty impressive considering how complex these tasks are.
It is. And the ones that didn't pass the filter, they were tossed out to prevent the AI from learning the wrong stuff.
Makes sense. It's all about quality over quantity when you're training an AI, right?
Absolutely. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say. Now, going back to single-stage training, remember how we talked about that being a key innovation of MLLM?
Yeah, the whole learning from image caption pairs AND visual instructions at the same time.
Right. Well, it wasn't just about making the learning process more intuitive. There was a strategic reason behind it, too.
Oh, what was that?
It had to do with the nature of the data. See, in these specialized fields like biomedicine and food science, even with all those image caption pairs, the amount of data available is still pretty limited compared to more general areas.
So it's like saying if you want to be a world-class chef, you can't just learn a handful of recipes. You need to be exposed to a wide variety of ingredients, techniques, and cuisines.
Exactly. You need a diverse data set to really master a field. And with that traditional two-stage training, separate training on image caption pairs and visual instructions, you risk limiting the diversity of those tasks, especially when you're dealing with a limited data set.
So by combining those stages into one, they're basically squeezing every drop of learning potential out of that data.
Precisely. They're making the most of what they have. And the results show that it pays off. MLLM didn't just outperform the other models in overall accuracy. It also showed a greater ability to handle a much wider range of tasks within each domain.
Wow, that's fascinating. It really highlights the power of this single-stage approach. But with all this talk about accuracy and performance, I have to ask, what does this all actually mean for the average person? How will MLLM actually impact our lives?
That's the big question, isn't it? Well, let's start with healthcare.
Okay, healthcare. We touched on it briefly earlier, but I'm ready to go deeper. What are some real-world scenarios where MLLM could make a real difference?
Well, imagine a world where doctors have AI assistants that can analyze medical scans right there in the exam room, instantly identifying potential issues that might be missed by the human eye.
That's amazing. It's like having an extra pair of superpowered eyes assisting with every diagnosis.
Exactly. And it's not just about spotting things. These AI assistants could also give doctors instant access to the latest research and treatment options, creating truly personalized recommendations based on a patient's specific needs and medical history.
It's like having a whole team of specialists on call 24/7, ready to provide insights and guidance. That could revolutionize healthcare as we know it.
Absolutely. And that's just the beginning. Think about drug discovery. MLLM could analyze massive amounts of biomedical data, helping researchers identify potential candidates for new therapies much faster than we can today.
Wow, we're not just talking about improving diagnoses and treatments, we're talking about potentially saving lives.
It's a powerful thought, isn't it? And the impact goes far beyond healthcare. Imagine using MLLM in education, creating personalized learning experiences for every student, adapting to their individual needs and learning styles. It's like having a personal tutor for every child.
No more one-size-fits-all approach to education. Every student gets the support they need to thrive. Okay, This is starting to feel like we're on the verge of a major technological revolution.
It's definitely an exciting time to be following the advancements in AI. And what we're seeing with MLLM is just a glimpse of what's possible.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. But before we get carried away with all the incredible possibilities, I have to ask, are there any downsides to all of this? I mean, this is some seriously powerful technology. Are there any risks or ethical considerations we need to be aware of?
That's a crucial question, and one that we need to think about carefully. While the potential benefits of MLLM are huge, it's important to remember that any powerful technology can be misused.
So it's not just about what we can do with AI, it's about what we should do.
Right, precisely. It's up to us, as a society, to make sure that technologies like MLLM are developed and used responsibly, with careful consideration for their potential impact on individuals and communities.
This has been an incredible deep dive. MLLM is clearly a major step forward in making AI more useful, more specialized, and ultimately more impactful in our everyday lives.
It is, and it's just a taste of what the future holds. As AI keeps advancing, we can expect to see even more groundbreaking discoveries and innovations that will reshape our world in ways we can only imagine right now.
Okay, but before we wrap up, I have one last question. This whole single-stage training approach seems like a pretty big deal. Are other researchers catching on? Are we going to see more and more AI systems developed using this method?
That's a great question, and it's one that a lot of researchers are asking right now. MLLM's success has caused quite a stir in the AI community, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a surge of interest in exploring single-stage training for other applications.
So this could be a real turning point in the field of AI.
It very well could be. ADML hasn't just shown how effective this new approach is, it's opened up a whole new avenue of research for AI. It's like they've given us a new map, and now it's up to the rest of us to explore where it leads.
That's a pretty inspiring way to look at it. So what's next for the MLLM team? Do they have any plans to take this technology even further?
Well, from what I've gathered, they're already working on expanding ADMLM to other domains, figuring out ways to boost the accuracy of their data synthesis process, and they're even looking at using ADMLM to personalize education and training programs.
They're not wasting any time. It sounds like we can expect even bigger things from MLLM in the near future.
I think so. And what makes this so exciting is that we're just at the beginning of this journey. The possibilities of AI are truly limitless, and with each breakthrough like MLLM, we're getting closer and closer to realizing its full potential.
Well, I, for one, can't wait to see what the future holds. This has been an incredible deep dive, and I don't know about you, but my mind is racing with possibilities.
Mine too. It's always a thrill to explore these cutting-edge technologies and to imagine how they might shape our world.
And to all of you listening, we want to hear from you. What are you most excited about when it comes to the future of AI? Share your thoughts with us on social media, and let's keep this conversation going.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. Healthcare, education, food science, even agriculture. But I'm wondering about those, more creative fields, like could MLLM be used in areas like art or music?
That's a great question. And it's something that researchers are starting to explore. Imagine an AI that could help musicians compose new melodies.
Oh, wow.
Or an AI that could help artists create unique visual styles.
So instead of replacing artists, AI becomes more of a tool for creative expression.
Exactly. It's all about augmenting human creativity, not taking over completely.
That's pretty cool. It's like having an AI muse.
I like that, an AI muse. And who knows, maybe we'll even see a whole new genre of art emerge, one that's born from this collaboration between humans and AI.
Ooh, an AI-generated art exhibit. I'd
Right.
go to that.
Yeah.
But with all this talk about AI and how it could transform these industries, I can't help but think about jobs.
Yeah.
Are we all going to be out of work? Are robots taking over?
That's a valid concern, and it's one that we need to address carefully. While it's true that AI will likely automate some tasks that humans currently do, it's also important to remember that AI creates new opportunities too.
So it's not necessarily about jobs disappearing, but more about them evolving.
Exactly. Think about the example we discussed earlier with healthcare. AI assistants won't replace doctors entirely, but they can free up doctors' time so they can focus on more complex tasks and those aspects of care that really require a human touch.
So instead of fearing the robot takeover, we should be thinking about how we can adapt and learn new skills so we can work alongside AI.
That's the idea. It's about embracing the potential of AI to enhance our own capabilities and create a work environment that's more efficient and maybe even more fulfilling.
This has been a truly mind-blowing deep dive. AtomLM is such a groundbreaking development in AI, and it's so exciting to think about all the ways it could benefit humanity. But as we move forward with these advancements, I think it's crucial to keep that human element in mind.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. AI is a powerful tool, no doubt about it. But it's ultimately up to us, as humans, to guide its development and make sure it's used for the betterment of society.
Well said. And to our amazing listeners, we want to hear from you. What are you most excited about when it comes to the future of AI? Share your thoughts with us on social media, and let's keep this conversation going.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.